I want to be clear about the fact that we've been running one case manager short since Lisa had moved up from her position to take the CPC position. We had asked her to. There's a significant change now. Instead of doing a month billing, a unit per month, they've now forced them to go to 15-minute intervals. And so it just creates a whole new system. And when they were enforcing or making that change, we didn't know what would cash flow or what we could afford to pay for. And so we asked her not to fill that position, if you guys remember, until this had all shaken out. Now the gals they're getting more and more and more workload, and they just can't handle it any longer. And the 28E board's recommendation to both the Sac County Board of Supervisors and the Ida County Board of Supervisors would be to replace that staff that we didn't replace when Lisa took the CPC job. The recommended caseloads we're way over that again, and we're asking our quality assurance person to almost have a full caseload of case management, which is not allowing her to do social work, which the social work part of this group allows them to identify and work with cases that reduce hospitalization. So there's a number of reasons we thought that we did need to go back to the staff that we had before Lisa took this job, because our staff is just overwhelmed. Our quality assurance person now is almost maintaining a full case management load plus quality assurance, and they just can't handle it. So that's our recommendation.
Do you want me to go through both cost reports, or the one with the additional staff do you feel is most important?
Well, I think you should just maybe talk a little bit about what the cost difference might be with refilling that position. It's very minimal, but you should probably talk about it.
With the actual staff that we currently have, I do have a couple extra of these. Did you happen to bring those?
They're probably on my desk in there.
Okay.
We have them.
If you and Dean can look at one, I can get this one to Jack. The orange one is what I'm going to look at first.
They're laying on the file cabinet on my desk.
And those I'll have to take back with me. Those are my extra copies, but you guys can keep the other one. I think we'll start on Schedule B, which is in the first section. Before that. If you look at, and again, this is the current staff that we have based on what I tracked from last October, and then I have to average it out over the course of the year. What the tracking looks like right now is our quality assurance supervisor, who also carries basically a full caseload, is currently spending 57% of her time in just targeted case management. She spends approximately 28% of her time as QAS, and then whatever is left after that, she's able to put towards social work. And these percentages, as you look back in some of the other charts that I have, depending on which chart you're looking at, may or may not reflect the addition of whatever their benefits are, so because I have to take a percent of their benefits to match each one. So what we're looking at for staff as it sits right now is $125,000.5 a year is what it costs us to run the program as far as salaries. And then if you want to go on to the Schedule D, which is about 3 pages farther back, make sure I'm right.
And these numbers are directly related to case management, of which we only pay a percentage of.
Yeah, it depends on what the FMAP is at that particular time. It could be 30%, it could be 35%, it fluctuates back and forth.
And it's been as low as 27, right?
Yeah, yeah. As you look down through Schedule D, we've got in the first section the total salaries, total benefits. One thing you'll notice from the health benefits, and you kind of have to have both of them open in order to do this, it's $26,000 for health benefits with the current staff. That is going to decrease in the next year for two reasons. One of the reasons is the percent of barbs will be different because we have a new staff. And then if we hire a new case manager and adjust Terry's time, the percent of her health insurance will be lower, which it lowers it like not quite $2,000 between what we currently have to what we're looking at, which it seems kind of strange, but with the other changes in staff, that's how it works out. So the retirement, that actually went up a little bit. And I think that may be a matter of I just put it on the wrong report, so maybe it should be switched. That won't reflect a big difference in the rate. FICA did go up a little bit. Non-medical, that has nothing to do with the staff we have. Supplies, that went up a little bit because we will have one more person using supplies. So, and the other reason that would go up a little bit is because we can afford to take more cases on, besides just what we have. Telephone, internet, I really don't expect that to change much. Postage, I don't expect that to change much. The next page, I don't expect the mileage in the local transportation to change a lot. Training, I usually estimate not fairly high, but higher than what we've had the last year. So I didn't change that with the new staff because I think that should encompass whatever she's going to need. And basically the rest of the things on that page, aside from moving and recruitment, is the same. Like I said, aside from that, because on the current staff I have no need for moving and recruitment. However, if we add a case manager, we're going to need to advertise. So, and this may be estimated a little bit low, but it'll all come out in the actual, and if there's any change, we'll be reimbursed for the difference. But
when you go to do that, be selective about where you put it and how you do it. I know sometimes it's difficult to get a decent pool, and you have to weigh that in what you do. But I think in this environment there may be more people available than there might have been the last time we had to do it.
the indirect service cost, that is based on the salaries. And from our current staff to additional staff, that did go up a little bit. Our current indirect percent is 5.42, and that is significantly different than the last cost report, and that is because the percent we use is like a year behind. And so this is actually reflecting the year when we had all the changes. Dawn left, I replaced her, we're running a case manager down, so that's a whole salary out of it. So that's what this indirect cost percent is reflecting, is that year. So it's just catching up with us. So that's not a big amount in there, but you can see that it's a little bit different from what we currently have to adding a new case manager.